Hi, I'm Dr. Neil Beck. I was a doctor in Perth, Western Australia for 53 years. I came to the conclusion that if you're mentally healthy and have enough good relationships in a developed country, you can almost always get everything else you need. The worst thing that can happen to you today is to have distressing mental health problems you can't get properly fixed. So in desperation, you get relief from street substances and become an addict. There are now people all over the world making great fortunes out of addiction of all sorts. As a doctor in Perth, over the past 27 years, because there'll never be enough helpers for all the people that need mental health and addiction help, I've been developing tools to enable people to help themselves. All you need is your phone, and anytime, anywhere, in a few minutes, you can understand what your problems are, what caused them, how they work, and what to do about them. If you need urgent help right now, please, on your phone, tap the App Store or Google Play icon and download the Mental Fix-It app, which is free. In a few seconds you can download the Mental Fix-It app, and in 5 minutes you can answer its questions. You get an instant report. The instant report tells you which 5 of our 83 under-a-minute videos to watch that will help you most with your particular problems. But what I want to do tonight mainly is to introduce the 10th tool. The 10th tool is the granddaddy. It's the Mental Fix-It Scroll Plus. It's an educational tool that is quite fast, but it's not a first aid emergency tool. So if you are in urgent need of help, please download the Mental Fix-It app and do that. In my work, I've had 500,000 consultations, home and hospital visits with people over 53 years. And for 5 years I had my own addiction clinic where I treated 5,000 addicts in over 40,000 consultations. And what I found was that 95% of them, 95% of addicts had mental health issues, and there were about 10 common mental health issues. According to the DSM-5, the Bible of mental health, is 500, but what I found was that if you could understand 10, that would be all that you needed to do to get better. When I first started to work with addiction, I wanted to know what caused addiction, and I went to all the addiction clinics in Perth and Sydney and couldn't find a single addiction worker who could tell me what caused addiction, or who thought that knowing what caused addiction was important. But I thought knowing what caused addiction was very important. You can fix things so much quicker and better if you understand the causes, and if you correct the causes, they won't relapse. And if you don't correct the causes, most addicts do relapse. So one day in the clinic where I started to work 10 hours a week, I saw 15 heroin addicts, and 5 of them had attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And obviously it was the ADD, ADHD that caused their addiction, because what had happened was they'd had ADD since early childhood. It had made them probably problem children. It had caused them to be a problem in the classroom. They had got a poor education. They'd often left school early and had difficulty getting jobs, and were short of money, and in desperation someone offered them a quick fix on the street, and all the quick fixes on the street were addictive. So once I found that a third of the addicts I was seeing had ADD, I looked for other things. The most common thing was worry, anxiety disorders, panic attacks, social phobia, obsessive compulsive disorder, all sorts of other phobias. The second commonest was major depression. The third was attention deficit, ADD, ADHD. The fourth was bipolar disorder, highs and lows. Then there was post-traumatic stress disorder. Then there was irritability, anger disorder, irritability, anger, violence disorder. Then there was post-traumatic evil focus, focusing on conspiracy theories and so on. And then there was crashed self-confidence and self-esteem. And then there was schizophrenia, and then there was autism. So over the years I developed 10 tools to help people to help themselves with these problems. The first tool was videos. Originally they were long videos, but eventually we found that everybody just wanted to watch 1 minute videos. So to cover everything, we have 83 1-minute videos. The website was mentalhealthvideos.a-to-z.com, but that was too long. So now we have a one-page website which is smilefixit.com, smilefixit.com, and on that website you can just tap links to whatever you want. The third thing was an app, the Mental Fixit app. It was just too slow talking to people to find out what their problems were and to help them to understand them and to fix them. But the Mental Fixit app enabled people in 5 minutes to answer 19 questions that covered the important things in mental health and addiction. And then we started to do live streaming, and at present I do live streaming for about an hour on Wednesday, Friday and Saturday evenings at 7 p.m. Perth time, and Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Perth time. And then the next thing was powder medicines in pocket dispensers, because so many medicines are addictive. People who need medicine want to take the medicine, get better quickly and stop taking the medicine, but the people who make medicine want them to take medicine, as much medicine as possible, for as long as possible, and they achieve that in two ways. Firstly, they make as many medicines as addictive as possible. So all the worry, anxiety medicines were addictive. Originally it was barbiturates, and there were many barbiturates, and they were all addictive. And then in the 1960s we got the new medicines, wonderful Valium, Seropax, Mogadon, Xanax, but they were all addictive too, and Ambien and Silnox addictive. And they made the medicine slow. What you really want is a very fast-acting medicine that you have in your pocket, and as soon as you start to feel a problem, you take the right medicine and it starts to work in 5 minutes, and it stops the problem from getting bad. But what they give you is tablets and capsules. And when you swallow a tablet or a capsule, it takes half an hour to an hour to go right down your gut, start to be absorbed into your bloodstream, start to go back up to your brain where it's needed, and 1 to 2 hours to work strongly. And starting to work in half to 1 hour and not working strongly till 1 or 2 hours is just too slow. But powder medicine, if you drop thousands of tiny grains of powder medicine on your tongue and suck it, don't swallow it, and it's absorbed through your tongue, it starts to work in 5 minutes. Your tongue is pink or red because the blood vessels are so close to the surface, and when you sprinkle thousands of tiny granules of powder medicine on your tongue and suck it, it gets into those blood vessels very quickly. In 5 minutes it starts, and in 10 to 15 minutes it's working strongly. And if you're able to take that powder medicine as soon as a problem starts, it doesn't get very strong. And that gives you great relief both from craving for addictive substances and for distresses from mental health illnesses such as anxiety and post-traumatic stress disorder and ADD and so on. With powder on your tongue, soon your body connects the taste of the powder with getting better, and then you start to get better as soon as you taste it. You get what's called taste conditioning, and with taste conditioning, as soon as you taste the medicine, you start to feel better. And it was important that it be in your pocket. So if you've got the right powder medicine in your pocket, even when you're driving the car, you just whiz it out and drop it on your tongue. Anytime, anywhere, on the bus, in the train, at your desk, in a queue, in a shop, anywhere. Just drop the right powder medicine on your tongue at the first sign of the problem and you start to get better. Another tool was heartbeat meditation aids. Meditation is so valuable for mental health and addiction problems, but the people who would benefit most have difficulty learning. And you can learn to meditate much more easily by listening to your heart. So this heartbeat meditation is just a short stethoscope, short doctor's stethoscope. That's the hearing part. You just stick that down on the left upper chest over your heart and listen to your strong heart beats, and you learn to meditate quite quickly. But and the eighth tool is another pocket powder dispenser, but this is a bigger dispenser that gives bigger doses of powder, and the powder is not medicine, it's fruit powder, because if you can drop a lovely fruit powder taste on your tongue when you get the urge to smoke or drink or take heroin or whatever, you can delay the mental distress, or you can delay the addiction craving, and you can break habits, mental health disorder habits, because they're just habits. Bad feelings, anger, worry, sadness, they're all bad habits, and you can the way you break bad habits is you delay them and you weaken them, and eventually you can stop them. But what I want to talk to you mainly tonight about is the mental fix-it scroll plus, which is the 10th tool. And what I found was that there are 86 different aspects of mental health and addiction, and what you need to do is you need to be able to scroll through those 86 things very fast and find which ones apply to you, because you don't have all 86. One person has these 3, 4 or 5 problems, another person has those 3, 4 or 5 problems, another person has different problems. So you need to find your problems. And the problem with the old way was a book. When I was a medical student, the book on medicine had 1,200 pages. The book on surgery had 1,100 pages. The book on obstetrics had 800 pages. And there was so much detail that you never got to know everything. But with the Mental Fix-It scroll, you can scroll through the 86 different problems in about 12 or 14 minutes. But you don't have to do the whole lot. I divided them up into 10 groups. So you just go to the group that interests you most. The groups are first aid for unhappiness, which I've already covered, feelings, mental health, downer mental health disorders, upper mental health disorders, relationships, families, habits, upper and downer addictions, and upper and downer medicines. So you just find the group that do the group first that's most interests you. So let's do that. Let's go through the feelings. Now, the feelings are usually the most powerful things in our life. The most powerful things in our life are usually our feelings. Now, these are the factors, 14 factors under feelings. To get a happy, healthy life, develop more and more good feelings and get your bad feelings fixed. Most bad feelings are caused by 11 common mental health disorders. We produce 25 feel-good chemicals in our brain, glands and gut. Our feel-good chemicals also boost our disease-fighting immune system, which keeps... So you can scroll through those 4 items under feelings in just a couple of minutes. And every time you come to one that is of interest to you, that applies to you, you can immediately watch a 6 to 15 second video on it. So smile, if this one, item number 8, smiling boosts your production of feel-good chemicals, so smile often. If that interests you, you just tap on a 9-second video. The 9-second video tells you whenever we smile or laugh, our brain, glands and gut increase production of feel-good, happy, healthy chemicals. So make smiling often a strong habit. And if you like that, then you can tap on a 1-minute video. The 1-minute video is become a smiler and get happier and healthier. Another item, suppressing normal warning feelings is very damaging. If you tend to suppress your anger or suppress your loneliness or suppress something, then you tap on the 13-second video. The 13-second video is suppressing anxious carefulness can be dangerous. Unfixed loneliness is as harmful as 15 cigarettes a day. Suppressed normal justified anger can burn you up inside, and suppressed sadness causes depression. And if that appeals to you, then you can tap on the 1-minute video. The 1-minute video is warning feelings alert us to changes we need to make to have a safer, better life. So we have 4 kinds of feelings. We have happy, good feelings, and they're very important because happiness goes with healthiness. The chemicals that give us happy feelings boost our immune system, and our immune system fights infections, allergies, inflammation, autoimmune diseases and cancers. So when we're happy, our immune system is strong, we're much less likely to get sick. If you are chronically unhappy, you have lots of unhappy feelings, then your immune system is low and you're more likely to get infections, allergies, inflammation, autoimmune diseases, or cancers. So there's good feelings, there's bad feelings, and then there's warning feelings. Warnings are good, not very nice feelings. Feeling lonely is not very nice, but if you don't feel lonely, you won't realize that you don't have enough good relationships. Sadness is not very nice, but when we have serious losses, we need to be sad, we need to grieve to get over it. If we don't grieve, we just ignore our sadness, it'll go on and on and on. And anger is sometimes a good warning sign, not a nice thing, but necessary. If something is wrong, it's good for us to get angry about it, because then we know we have to fix it, and it gives us the energy to fix it. Or if we get angry because something that should happen doesn't happen, then it makes us aware of the thing that's missing, and it gives us the energy to fix the thing that's missing. If we have cautiousness is a sort of anxious carefulness, and we need that for when there are risks, there are dangers, and we need to be careful. So good feelings, bad feelings, warning feelings, and dangerous pleasures. Dangerous pleasures eventually end in tragedy, such as addiction, and we need to avoid dangerous pleasures. So you scroll through the section, so you've scrolled through the 14 feeling ones, and then what you do is you tap at the end of that, you tap new interests, and immediately comes up a list of the links to all the 6 to 15 second videos that you watch that you were interested in. So you've got them there in front of you again, and you can look at them again if you want to. But also there's a 1 minute video attached to every 6 to 15 second video. So if the 6 to 15 second video turns out to not really be of interest to you, then you don't watch the 1 minute video. But if the 6 to 15 second video is helpful for you, then you watch the 1 minute video. And then at any time you want, you can tap all interests. And if you tap all interests, it'll give you a list of all the 6 to 15 second videos you've ever watched, and they're 1 minute videos. And then you can look at that, and you've got the information, the detail that you need. But it's only about the things that you are interested in. You don't waste your time plowing through hundreds of pages of stuff that's of no importance to you. So let's say the first time you've got 10 minutes. So in 10 minutes you scroll the 3 groups of things that are most interesting to you. You might scroll feelings and families and habits. And then you get all the points of interest to you on that. The next time you might decide you want to scroll those ones again because they're particularly interesting to you, or you might decide to scroll some of the others. But and one day you've got 20 minutes or half, and in 20 minutes you can scroll the whole lot. So eventually you cover everything. You cover 86, you cover every aspect of mental health and addiction, and you find everything that will help you, and you get instant 6 to 15 second videos on anything that interests you, and then if you want you get 1 minute videos on those things. So the old system was very slow. Big books, long lectures, long videos. It was slow, and for instance, I was in my 80s before I discovered the most important thing that affected my family. The most important thing that affected my family was transgenerational trauma. And I never knew about transgenerational trauma when I was a student, medical student, or when I was a practicing doctor. It wasn't until I was retired that I discovered the most important problem with my family. The most important problem with my family was that a great-grandmother got married at 16 and had 4 sons in 6 years. By the time she was 22, she had 4 sons. And then her alcoholic husband deserted her and left her. And then she stuck up a relationship with a boyfriend that she wasn't married to, and she had 2 daughters. And then I don't know what happened to that, but then she got married again when she was 30 and had 3 more. So she, from the age of 16 to the early 30s, she had 9 children. 2 of them died young, and she had so much stress and strain that her immune system was low, and she got cancer in her late 30s and died at 42. And the problem for the family was that her first daughter, which was her 5th child when she was 24, had to do so much work that grandmother became that daughter became a second mother to a lot of the children, and in the end, in her mid-teens, had to look after her dying mother, who died when she was 18, when my grandmother was 18, and my grandmother was a battle axe, and that affected the next few generations. So you don't want to wait till you're in your 80s to find out the most important thing for your mental health. You want to find it as soon as possible, and with the mental scroll fix-it plus, you can find out today all 86 possible factors to do with your mental health. But you probably won't have, or you may not be interested to spend half an hour, but in 10 minutes you can make a lot of progress, and then another time, another 10 minutes, you can make a lot of progress. You eventually go through all 86, you find everything of interest to you. You can watch as many times as you want the 6 to 15 second videos that give you a brief outline of the item, and then the 1 minute videos that give you more detail. And then at any time you want, you can do the sorry, you can't do it yet, but soon you'll be able to do our revised Mental Fix-It app. Our first Mental Fix-It app, first version, was 38 questions, which took you 10 minutes to do, and that was too long. People wanted something quicker than that. So then we reduced it to the 19 most important questions, and you can do that in 4 or 5 minutes. But now we're revising it so that you can answer 12 questions in 2 minutes, and anything that's not a problem for you, you don't get asked that question again. The next time you do the app, you'll get asked new questions, and you'll end up going through all the questions, which is now 33, in just a few goes. And every time you do the app check, it tells you the 6 1-minute videos that will help you most, and you can immediately watch those 6 videos in 6 minutes. So go to your phone, and in a few seconds tap the App Store or Google Play, download the Mental Fix-It app. In 2 minutes do the Mental Fix-It app, and in 6 minutes look at the 6 videos that are going to help you most, and in 10 minutes you've gone from 0 to having a lot of understanding of your problems and what causes them and what will fix them. Now, unfortunately, I've had a health problem that has meant that I didn't do any live streaming for a week, and I started to get angina, and I can't do as much as I did before, so I'm going to stop now. But and lots of people want to talk to me, but we have thousands of viewers, and that's just not possible. Can't do it. But I'm very interested in connecting in this way. You can on the platform that you watch, TikTok or YouTube Shorts or Facebook or Instagram, you can send us comments, questions, and criticisms. And when I stop doing the live streaming, I will go through all those comments, questions, and criticisms and reply to them. And you can also email me. The email address for that, which is spelt the way it sounds, is healthestuff@gmail.com. healthestuff@gmail.com. And if you can't remember that, just go to my website, smilefixit.com. I think you'll be able to remember smilefixit.com, and you'll find the email address there, and email me, and I always respond to emails. So today is Wednesday. I'll be back on Friday at 7 p.m. Perth time, Saturday 7 p.m. Perth time, 9 a.m. Sunday Perth time, but for a shorter live streaming. So look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. Bye.
Are you going to stream?
Sorry. So I've got it plugged in. What I do, I go to...
Are you going to stream?
Hmm?
Are you going to stream right now?
No, but I just want to... I don't know why it won't work.
Okay.
So we go on there. Now we've got start streaming.
Yeah, okay, you do as you did, and you just, if you get the trouble, I will...
No, it doesn't work.
No, I mean, for before Facebook there are lots of other steps. So do the steps, you don't need to explain me, it might interrupt you.
Mhm.
So if you meet